At 2:17 a.m., a woman called 911, whispering only 4 words. "He's still inside." The operator immediately asked what was happening, but instead of answering, the woman went silent. Then suddenly, a loud creaking sound echoed through the call, like a door slowly opening. What happened next would later become one of the most unsettling emergency calls people have ever heard, because the caller wasn't hiding from a stranger. She was hiding from someone who was never supposed to be in the house at all. Emergency operators hear horrifying things every day. Break-ins, accidents, violence, but occasionally a call comes in that feels different. Not because it's loud, but because it's quiet, because the fear sounds real. And according to people who later discussed this case online, this call disturbed even experienced dispatchers, not because of what was said, but because of what was heard in the background. According to reports, the caller was a 26-year-old woman living alone in a suburban neighborhood. Earlier that night, neighbors reported hearing her dog barking repeatedly around midnight, but nobody thought much of it. At 2:17 a.m., the emergency call came in. The operator answered normally and immediately noticed something strange. The woman was whispering so quietly that parts of the audio were nearly impossible to understand. She reportedly said, "There's someone in my house." The dispatcher asked if she could lock herself in a room. The caller replied, "I think he knows where I am." Then came a long silence. Not static, not disconnection, just silence. And faintly in the background, footsteps, slow, heavy, moving across wooden floors. The operator tried keeping her calm, asked for her address, asked if she recognized the intruder, and then the caller said something that completely changed the situation. She whispered, "He's calling my name." People later obsessed over the details of the recording, not officially released to the public, but described online by individuals claiming to have heard portions of it. Some said you could hear a man speaking faintly in the distance. Others claimed there was no voice at all, only movement. One former dispatcher allegedly described the call as the kind that makes the room go cold. Then came the moment everyone remembers. The operator asked, "Can you see him?" And the woman answered, "No." Pause. "He can see me." Then a loud crashing sound erupted through the line. The caller screamed once. The connection cut out immediately afterward. Police were dispatched within minutes, but when officers arrived, the front door was locked. No signs of forced entry, no broken windows, nothing stolen, and according to reports, the woman was gone. The case quickly spread online because of how little made sense. How does someone disappear from a locked house? Some believed the story was exaggerated internet fiction. Others thought it involved someone the victim already knew. But one detail kept resurfacing in discussions: the dog. Investigators reportedly found the dog hiding underneath a bed upstairs, terrified, refusing to come out, and according to one rumor, mud footprints were discovered inside the hallway. But they abruptly stopped halfway through the house, as if whoever made them never walked back out. No arrests were ever officially announced, no suspect publicly identified, and eventually the case faded from mainstream attention, but the recording itself became legendary online. because listeners claimed the scariest part wasn't the screaming or the footsteps. It was the fear in the silence. The moments where both the operator and the caller realized someone else was inside that house listening too. Most emergency calls are forgotten within days, filed away, archived, lost in thousands of hours of recordings. But some calls stay with people forever, because they capture something impossible to fake, pure fear. And maybe that's why stories like this spread so quickly online. Not because people enjoy being scared, but because deep down, everyone has imagined the same thing. Waking up in the middle of the night, hearing footsteps somewhere inside your house, and realizing you are not alone. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Unexpected Stories, because the next case gets even darker.